look up to this month in October. We're going to be in a very active season backload. So, hope you enjoy. What's up, guys? It's your boy George the Weatherman, and today this is going to be somewhat active October. So, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So, let's get right to it. So, today we're looking at the weathermodels.com, and we do see a lot of sorry, I'm a little bit froggy, but anyways, we do see a lot of we we're about to see some activity around the Caribbean, like the Gulf, as we go for the next 48 hours. This is a little bit an early model. I don't have it signed in or something, but it's from the 30th of September, last day till October, when Hurricane Imelda made landfall in Bermuda. This was a pretty bad storm. Went direct impact there. Have not seen the damage yet. Hopefully, if I see it, I'm gonna get an update. So, as we know, we do have a sneaky wave going through the east of Miami and the Bermuda, not Bermuda, I'm sorry, but the Bahamas. We do see a couple waves going. That's a 998 millibar, 94 millibar. One's going through the Kennedy Space Center, 978. That is a strong hurricane. But as you know, once we get a wave coming from Africa to the MDR, we can see we do have we do something coming there. Sorry if I'm stuttering, but even we get something from the Gulf and the Caribbean, like this one in the Gulf in I-73, this will strengthen. We have another wave that is actually what I said earlier about that Bahamas area to the Turks and Caicos with another major hurricane going through as a 947 millibars, and there is more to come. While we have a couple models showing this is towards the September 30th. It is October 2nd, or you're probably watching from yesterday's October 3rd. We have coming from the NDR still, but we do have a couple waves, couple systems. It could be a major hurricane. One can go to Florida, where I'm at. That is like where Milton had last year, 2024. And another one, the one that keeps going, it's making a loop. I can't really believe that. Makes the same area, but so weakens once it goes to the northeast. Probably a strong tropical storm inland by Georgia. Then it comes back. And even while we look here, we have one in the Gulf going towards the Gulf or the Campeche and the Yucatan, and we have some other waves. They're not pretty strong, but it will be bad. There's a lot of waves. There's is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 10, 11, 12 maybe. Another wave coming up here. Probably just a weak tropical storm, maybe a strong tropical storm or hurricane coming to Africa. So we got that sneaky wave coming to Bahamas, to Florida. One can hit west is 987 by Georgia and Alabama. Also, we got this system coming in the MDR, and it's some concern. One could go in the Caribbean. Also, we do have a little wave, tricky wave, in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Can do a loop. It can make landfall as another major hurricane or a possible major hurricane. And we do have this one doing this weird little up and down and going up. Also, we do have another one that it says 999 millibars, 14 days from now, and it can actually go towards Florida or to the Big Bend area. Another one by the Texas area. This stalls so much right now, then it weakens, and we do have, it says October 9th, we are going to be to an extreme active pattern where we have a lot of ocean heat, high temperatures, and an extreme favorable environment all the way to October 8th. This is really strong. I could say we go from October 8th. We skip that? We go to October 1st. It's not fully updated, but from 3 days from the 9th to the 12th, we were going to see some, mostly the most North and South American favorable environment. It's rare to see, really extremely rare to see a hurricane in South America since I think it was 2012. I think I'm not sure if that's the right answer, but it kind of like ends around the 21st October. Once it ends, then it keeps that low, little bit of favorable area from October 31st to 2nd, and it keeps in South America still getting that favorable, like active environment, I should say, by South America. Nothing really. There's no storms to watch, but there'll be some thunderstorms around South America and Brazil and Chile. While we got another active wave of of rising motion around the typhoon season. So just typhoon season might not be over yet, but hopefully. Hold up. Now we do have a couple months to show. We went through the GEFS, now the GEPS. As in 12Z, October 9th has enhanced a little bit for Florida, a little bit around the Campeche and Yucatan, a little bit where Imelda and Gabrielle where it says, but by October 15th, this is in where the mid of the MDR, South America, and the mid Atlantic. This is a pretty extreme, but some other models can show. Let's go 0Z. This one's kind of a little bit less favorable, but it is favorable for hurricanes. Let's go to EP. Oh, this one not available. So in South America and Brazil, it is showing that's where it's mostly probably, but there is going to be a lot of monsoons there. Not just Asia and the areas, but where we get this 100, 150 west, there'll be a lot of sinking motion after Priscilla and Octave, I think how you pronounce it, but as you know, oh, we gotta go to 2 millibar chi. I think we're loading up again. There we go. So that took a while. So it was October 1st. We had a lot of sinking air while we had Gabrielle, or Imelda, while it's strengthening a bit to like October 3rd to the 4th to the 5th. From October 1st to 5th, this is when we get this rising motion. While that sinking motion pushes away to the east from the west, and there is some areas are like where Octave, I should say, and Priscilla, that's what's gonna happen. Then there's gonna be some areas that some sinking air is popping from sinking the rising air. Jeff S is putting a real extreme detail. So from the start of October 8th to the 18th, that's a 10-day period activities. We were supposed to get an active October from today into November, and that's probably it. But so we go to 0Z. That's not what I want. Well, it does. That's how far it goes. For 0Z, this is pretty extreme. This is the furthest, deepest activity we ever seen before since Irma 2020, 2017, and stuff. I'm gonna pause right there for y'all. I know my voice is low. My mom's asleep, but while you're watching, she's probably doing everything she's doing. But I cracked my fingers. Got relieved all that stress from your fingers. Anyways, September 29th, we see a little white pocket of a little tiny bit of energy that's Imelda forming in. It goes away. But I want to show you a couple models here. 6Z, October 1st, 18Z. This is the deepest pocket of rising motion. If Priscilla comes another major hurricane for the Pacific season, that's gonna be what, our first to 6 maybe, I don't know, but so this is going to be a pretty active October. So here we go. 12Z October 1st. This is the most areas I've seen before. We can go to Euro now. Euro is doing pretty average, but this is pretty the most rising areas we have here. We do have a couple pockets of rising motion by 50, 150 west, 120 west, from 90 west to 0 west. Does continue a little bit. So as we go to, let's go to 12Z. This one wave, tricky wave from the Florida. We do have a 9,009 millibar, so there's going to be a lot of rain, thunderstorms. Anyone in Florida, that's Florida, you know. We have a wave that is coming named DR. We do have another one coming from, this one's pretty weak in the Atlantic. Bermuda is going to be very scared, but hopefully it's not going to be a big deal. From a tropical storm to a category 2 hurricane in, I could say, about 100 plus 8 hours maybe. I'm trying to see, from the 10th, that's 3 days, that's a 72 hours. So and this one can go shifting a little westward to, or a little bit pulling up like the other storms did from so far. But then we get this other big areas where we're gonna see some systems popping up in the Caribbean. So this one, that's where we're gonna have to look out, because speaking of that, so we do have extreme. That's extreme. Even toward Jamaica too. This area where Dominican and Haiti, this could actually spread out. Any storm that enters those ocean heat, that's going to be pretty bad, really bad. Model as we looking at, but then it goes to north. Let's go to North Atlantic area. Can make landfall to Maine as a category 1 or 2 hurricane, but some names will call it post-tropical, so that's where we're going to see it. And another one by October 18th. 3 waves. We got 3 waves. One by the Yucatan and then South Yucatan. One by Dominican and Haiti. One coming out of it. So this is gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. But also we do have this one on your left. If you're looking at it, this is a 946 millibars going through Haiti's a major hurricane. That'll be our 5th major hurricane for 2025 season. Then it weakens to a 960 category 3. Then it turns to, through these mountains is crazy. Then it strengthens back. Yeah, we gotta watch out for Bermuda. This is gonna be a nightmare for them. Now we get another wave. Ooh, a really healthy one. 0 October 2nd. We do have a couple of them, but there's no low. We do have a couple low pressures. One of them is 9. Oh, here we go. This is 1,000 millibar tropical storm. Crazy day, as you know. Let's check for NAM because I'm worried about there is a wave coming out. We do have 2 of them, and one in the Gulf, one by Turks and Caicos in the Bahamas. This one could get its act together for NAM model. It is gonna get its act together, really, but there's some rotation a bit according to the Hurricane Center. There's some wind a little bit. It is rotating a bit, so back till we go to 12. A little checking a couple things, and that's probably it for the video. Okay, so this reminds me, this right here in the Gulf, Barry, after the name Alicia in Texas. I can't remember. I think it was like 1980, late 80s maybe, if I remember. But the dates will be right here, so this reminds me of something that. So yeah. Then we have the active signal coming from the Caribbean. More in the NDR. This one could be a long system. There's a system going through. There's some more south a little bit. I think that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace out, everybody.